Hello Blake, and Mr. Eastwood, and whoever else ends up watching this. I'm here at the GCS garden, and I thought I would go over some of the things we talked about. You tackling for your Eagle Scout project. I'll do them sort of one at a time. The fence supports, or I should say the post supports, and the beds, the raised beds, the compost bins, and maybe some sundry other things. So I'll walk you around now. So here we have one of the fence supports, and I made this a few weeks ago just to sort of demonstrate what I had in mind as a prototype. So you can see it's made out of 2x6s. It extends out of the garden and then also inside the garden. And one of the points I made was that you can't do too much of it ahead of time because it's going to sit flat on the ground, and which means it won't necessarily be at right angles to the post, since not all the ground is at perfectly level at this spot. So what needs to happen is you cut them to basic length, sort of place them in next to the fence post, maybe even dig a little bit so that it sits really tightly on the ground, and then attach the struts or the diagonal pieces from there. There's a big sharp angle at the top. Let's see if I can actually poke through here. There, you can kind of see that, where they meet in a miter joint, and then they're screwed. I screwed them with 3-inch screws, but we should use those Timberlock screws that I mentioned. They're much more durable, and they're made for outdoor sort of purposes. I mentioned half lapping, and this is what I was trying to explain. So if you look at it this way, the 2x6 in the bottom is attached right to the post, but then the diagonal is attached outboard of that, which means it's not in a single plane with that bottom piece. But the more I look at it, the more I realize that doesn't probably matter for the purposes of an outdoor fence. I think it's fine just the way it is, even though it's a little skew. I don't think that's going to be a problem. One thing I would do, though, is I think I made this out of a 8-footer. So that means the bottom piece is 4 feet long, and then the other pieces that remain are also 4 feet long. I would make it out of a 10-footer and put the 5-footer on the ground, and then have 5-foot pieces go up, just so it could be further up the post. So it seems to me something like this, what could be done ahead of time would be, these things could be pre-cut. There's 3 pieces per post, and I've done 2 of them, and I think I said there's 12 because you don't need to do the corners. I'll show you what I did to the corners and what we could do for the rest of the corners in a minute. So now I'm on the inside, so you can see the inside view of this. Again, I did this rather quickly when I was up here, so I'm not suggesting this is exactly how it should be done. You know, it could be done a little more neatly, and I would do it if I had a whole kind of day to take care of this. I just wanted to do a quick prototype. So that's that there, and then the corners. I braced the corners. You can see I basically put a piece between the 2 rails on opposite sides, and we should do this. I really made this side stiff. Made a little triangle here, and nothing's going anywhere now because of that. So we should do that on all 4 sides. I'm going to move here just to say there's a fair bit of things. I just clipped back this big wisteria bush, which is going to hang over the entrance. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be removed. That's another thing, like a dump run at some point, including the old compost boxes. Those should be demolished, and we need a dump run for that too. So the garden is actually made of, or inside the garden there is 4 beds on each side. There's like a little lane in the middle, and then there was 4 6x16 beds on each side. So I think what I would, this is what Blake and I talked about doing, is I found those beds too long, kind of unmanageable. So I thought what we'd do is break each bed that were 6x16, or they were 6x14 maybe, into 2 6x6 beds, I think, with a little lane in the middle. And you can see I posted them here. I put these white 2x2s around it. If you were here, it'd be a little more obvious. But anyway, they're at the corners of the existing ones, and then I split them down the middle with a little 2-foot lane in the middle. So that there's taking these 2 beds and turn them into 4. So that's something we talked about. So those are 6x6. That's absolutely, you could do all ahead of time because it's as simple as can be the carpentry there. So now I'm on the I guess it's the west side where the rotted compost bins are. So there was actually 3 of them. One's fallen apart. This COVID is taking its toll everywhere, it seems like. And the fence on this side is also just kind of like supported roughly. So the fence is absolutely the crucial part, and you know, that's why I only said let's tackle those 4 raised beds rather than the whole place. I think the fence, the compost pile, well, I should say the compost bins, and just general cleanup is going to be plenty. So we're going to meet, I think, on Monday, and we can talk about the details. I'll try to get this video to you before then. Otherwise, have a happy holidays.